Testing.
It's not working. Join your buddy.
Good morning and welcome to this edition of San Diego People. I'm Jason Austell. In just 2 days, San Diego will memorialize the victims of the crash of PSA Flight 182. On a hot, clear morning 40 years ago, a San Diego-based Pacific Southwest Airlines 727 collided with a small Cessna and crashed into a North Park neighborhood. 144 people died. At the time, it was the worst air disaster in U.S. history. This morning, you'll hear stories from first responders about the scene they arrived to that day. You'll also meet neighbors who played together as children, some who were eyewitnesses to the crash. But we begin with those who lost loved ones on the flight. We're joined this morning by Bea Turkle, who lost her daughter Marla, and Myra Pawlowski, who lost her brother Michael. Thank you so much for joining us. This was Pacific Southwest Airlines, and we were just talking about how it was a San Diego-based company, and it was fun. And in fact, I think we even have something to show here while I ask you. Your daughter for 3 years was a flight attendant for PSA.
She was a flight attendant, and she started out with PSA in the reservation department. And but she said that isn't really what I want to do. She wanted to fly. So anyway, she applied to be a flight attendant, and as I said, she realized it was going to be tough to have her resume noticed, so she did it in all different colored pencils so that it would get noticed, and so they did. She got noticed, and she got hired, and she loved it. She loved flying for PSA.
That's great.
Yeah.
Myra, let's talk about your brother.
Yeah.
Who perished in the crash. You were both graduates at Torrey Pine High School.
That's right. So Michael and I had just graduated in June that year, and so he was 18, I was 17. I had skipped grade, so we were together for many years. He was supposed to start his first day at UC San Diego, and I was starting my first day at UC Davis. The weekend before, we had driven from Del Mar up to Davis and had all kinds of car problems throughout the weekend, which forced him to have to take the flight from Sacramento, which was PSA 182. And he was supposed to start his first day. His first class was at 9 o'clock.
And you have told me in the past that you drove him up to the curb and he ran in to see if he could get a ticket, and he got the last ticket available.
Absolutely. I mean, we were just racing to the Sacramento airport to make sure he could get on the plane. He went inside and came back out and said, I got the last seat on the plane.
Wow. And Bea, can we see the picture of your daughter? I know that you brought one today.
Yes, I did.
Tell us what she was like.
Marla was a little thing, and she was a small person, a happy person, big personality, small person with a big personality. And she was just a joy. We miss her every single day, her two sisters and her brother. We all miss her every day. But she loved life. She loved working for PSA. That was her passion, to be hired by PSA. So she did what she loved, and I'm so happy about that.
Now, one thing you have in common is it was many, many years before you were able to return to the site.
Right.
Myra, it was 35 years for you, beat 39 years. It was just last year. Talk to us about what took so long and what led you back to that site.
Well, you know, for me, it was 39 years, and I had no desire to see the site. I had seen it on television, and it was very painful. And then last year, my two daughters, Marla's two sisters, said, you know, it was time to go, and they were talking about the memorial and all, and I thought it is time for me to attend where the memorial is going to be. So that was 39 years, and that was last year. So I'm glad now that this memorial is going to be finally, you know, in respect to all the lives that were lost.
Sure.
I think it's going to be a beautiful tribute.
Sure, and the 35 years for you, Myra.
Yeah, you know, the reason why I didn't go was similar reasons. It was very painful to be able to see that site. But actually, the trigger for me was Dave Frisina had put together this documentary about the return to Dwight and Nile and was showing it at that evening at the North Park community meeting. And so I decided, you know, I'm going to go. And that was sort of the first start of our committee to try to make the memorial happen.
And are you glad you went?
I'm absolutely glad we went. You know, we've come a long way.
Yeah.
And